Did you know that you can sometimes tell if implantation failed just by looking at your BBT chart? Most of you only use your BBT to check if you've ovulated, but your chart actually gives away so much more about your hormones and progesterone, and even if you had an early chemical pregnancy. Now, hi, I'm Carmen. I teach women in my online community, the Fertility Circle, how to read those charts properly so they stop guessing and start understanding what their body is really actually doing. And in the first few weeks of joining, we go through exactly how to take your temperature, how to chart it, and you are more than welcome to post your charts in our private Facebook group so we can go over them together and figure out what's actually happening with your hormones and what they're trying to tell us, because your body is always speaking to you. Now, look at this chart. Now, at the beginning of the cycle, you see lower, slightly wiggly temperatures, and that's your estrogen dominant phase before ovulation, where temperatures sit lower because estrogen has more of a cooling effect, and that's fine. Now, then around the middle of the cycle, you see a little dip, followed then by a clear shift upwards of roughly 0.2 to 0.3 degrees Celsius. And that's in Fahrenheit, I think, 0.4 to 0.5. Check that. Now, that stays higher than everything before. And that's our clue. Ovulation most likely has happened. And then progesterone has kicked in and warming things up in there and holding your uterine lining in place in case your embryo wants to implant. Now, in a healthy, sustained implantation, you'd expect those higher temperatures to stay up or even get a second little rise about a week after ovulation. So it kicks in. But now in this chart, the temperature starts sliding back down, never really going up. And at the end, you see that it's just dipping. Now, and that tells us progesterone is dropping before your period. And then the lining is no longer being held stable. And that pattern can mean that implantation never really happened, or in some women with very early positives, that a chemical pregnancy started, but couldn't be sustained because progesterone just fell too early, and the temperatures give you there a clue. Your BBT obviously cannot replace blood work, but when we pair charts with your symptoms and the lab results, they become an incredibly powerful tool to spot luteal issues and support you earlier. So if you're struggling to get pregnant or you've had multiple chemical pregnancies, then come and join my Fertility Circle and let me help you. There's plenty we can do to improve your hormones, your luteal phase, and your chances that 2026 is a year you don't just get pregnant, but actually stay pregnant.